All right, so get this, right? Plato. Yeah, that Plato, the philosophy guy. Turns out he was a huge wrestling fan. Like, seriously, huge. And it got me thinking, we tend to see fitness as this like a modern thing. But this excerpt you sent over, total eye-opener. It's like getting those heart rates up. It's practically hardwired into us.
It's really remarkable, yeah.
So that's what we're diving into today, the whole history of fitness. And trust me, it's about way more than just exercise is good for you. We're talking like Stone Age survival, gyms in ancient times, even how people figured out the whole mind-body connection thing way back when.
Absolutely. And, we might have swapped spears for treadmills, but it's fascinating how those primal movements are still the foundation. I mean, think about it. Squats, deadlifts, they're like echoes of our ancestors just trying to, survive. Hunting, gathering, not ending up as someone else's workout routine.
Okay, so back up a sec, because are you saying those killer workouts we do now, that's basically just Stone Age boot camp? Someone signed me up for the mammoth chase.
Uh-huh. Well, you see, even back then, fitness was essential for survival, right? But here's where it gets interesting. Those basic movements, they took on all sorts of different meanings depending on the culture. The ancient Greeks, for example, they were all about mens sana and corpus sano.
Right, yeah, a sound mind and a sound body. Heard that one before. But what did that actually look like back then? Did they have daily workout routines the way people do now?
Think a less structured workout, more like a whole way of life. It was about gymnastics, sure, but also music, philosophy, developing the whole package.
Right.
They even had these public gymnasias, and not just for hardcore athletes. These were spots for people to hang out, debate ideas, even get into politics. Everything was connected.
Whoa, so it wasn't just about chiseling six-pack abs. It was this whole holistic well-being thing. It makes our gyms today seem a little basic, doesn't it?
It really puts things in perspective, and it shows how, even back then, different cultures had such different views on physical activity. Take the Roman Empire, for example. Totally different story. For them, fitness was all about military power. Oh, yeah, the Romans, they were all about building that unstoppable army, right?
Yeah.
It's less about feeling good and more about getting battle ready. Kind of like, I don't know, basic training today, would you say?
Totally.
Yeah.
But then, get this, after the Roman Empire goes down, fitness kind of fades into the background. It's wild.
It's true. Things really shifted in the medieval period. Physical stuff, not really a priority. It wasn't until we hit the 1800s, the 19th century, that we see this big comeback in physical activity. This is when we get organized sports as we know them. Think baseball, soccer.
Right. And suddenly, everyone wants to play. But it wasn't just about competition, right? This excerpt you shared, it mentioned how people started focusing on the mental side of things, too. That link between physical activity and mental health, like it was something new.
It's amazing how that idea comes back around, right? And get this, even Sigmund Freud, the psychoanalysis guy, he was super into it, saw how much it could help his patients.
Hold up. Freud at the gym. Okay, I need a minute to picture that. But it totally makes sense. When I'm stressed, nothing clears my head like a good workout.
Exactly. That's that mind-body connection people have been tapping into forever. And as we get into the 20th century, things really start to take off. That's when we get the fitness landscape we know and sometimes love today.
It's like someone hit fast forward. We're not just talking basic exercises anymore. Suddenly it's aerobics, yoga, CrossFit. I mean, come on. How many different workouts are there now?
Right. And alongside all those different workout styles, we made huge leaps in exercise science. We started to actually understand how the body reacts to different types of movement. Take muscle hypertrophy, for example, the whole how muscles grow thing. That changed everything for strength training.
Mind-blowing how far we've come. But, got to give a shout out to technology, too. I mean, remember those old school treadmills? Now we've got these fitness trackers monitoring every step we take.
It really is amazing. I mean, we're talking about going from tracking animals in the wild to tracking our steps and heart rate on a screen the size of, a postage stamp?
Yeah.
Crazy.
No kidding. But okay, we've covered a ton of ground here, from the Stone Age to, the tech age. So what's the takeaway for someone listening, maybe thinking about their own workouts? What does all this history actually tell us about fitness today?
Well, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? I think for me, seeing this whole evolution, it really drives home that fitness. It's not just some fad. It's built into who we are as humans. Our bodies are literally made to move. And it's not just about, looking good in a bathing suit. It's about honoring how we were designed.
It's like we're programmed for it, right? From our ancestors chasing down dinner to that, energy boost you get after a killer workout.
Exactly. And kind of like those ancient Greek gymnasia we were talking about, it's about way more than just pumping iron or whatever. It's got to be this holistic thing that takes care of your mind and body. We've got so many choices now. But this history reminds us that there's no one right way to do fitness. Maybe you love high-intensity stuff. Great. More into yoga and chilling out. Also great. It's about finding what clicks for you.
Totally. And speaking of finding what works, this excerpt you shared, it ended on this really interesting note about how people's attitudes toward fitness are, like, still changing, even now. It made me think about all those fitness influencers, online workout communities, all the personalized tech. What do you make of all that?
Honestly,
Yeah.
I think it's kind of a brave new world. I mean, on the one hand, we've got more information, more choices, more support than ever. But that also comes with its own challenges,
For
right?
sure. Like, how do you even filter all that information? Plus, there's this pressure to keep up with every new trend, And then sometimes I wonder, are we losing that, like, pure joy of just moving our bodies?
That's such an important point. And that's where, honestly, I think this whole historical perspective is so key. It's like a reminder to tune out all that noise, get back in touch with our bodies, and just find the fun in moving,
Mm.
just like our ancestors did. It's a journey, not a race.
So well said. Wow, this deep dive has really given us a lot to think about. From the Stone Age to the digital age, it's clear our relationship with fitness is always evolving. So, what will your next chapter look like? That's something to ponder. And on that note, a huge thanks to you for joining us on this awesome trip through the history of fitness.